Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat Volume 20. Let's go. Our first 20th episode of this little chill sesh we like to have together. Talk about PSVR2 and all the news and stuffs to look forward to. Welcome, guys. Wow, has there been a lot of news this week to talk about. So I'm excited because, yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, thank you, all of you who enjoy and support the show, the channel, all the things. Just go around spreading your love and positivity to one another. I appreciate you. Secondly, thank you to my Patreons who donate and support. You guys really help out. And this is Interactive Chat, where I like to interact with you guys. What up, Blue Jew, the Underground Game Cat Elite Name Squad in the house. That was first in the chat. You're so fast. GB, the Talk Positive Squid Cat. He says. We shall find out. Salvador, what's up, man? Jalmeo. Hello. Flame Hat, the Game Cat. Fire. Old Darth. Good to see all of you guys. So obviously tons of stuff have been going on this week, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in because otherwise if we waste enough time, we'll be here all day. The first thing, of course, what up, Zack Attack, is that PlayStation have revealed the release window for the PlayStation VR2, and it is coming early 2023, they say. Now, this first went up, I think, on PlayStation's Instagram, like the picture I have here that I borrowed from somebody on Reddit. Thank you very much, Redditor. It's a little bit weird, though. Did I just call you Jao Miao? I didn't. Jao Milao? Jao Mileo? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I screwed it up, and I apologize. I'm far from perfect, as most of you already know. But yeah, so Sony have given us a release window, and who to thunk it? It is Q1 2023. Now, this just says early 2023. There is speculation. You know, I've said before, me and Brian from Without Parole. Brian was obviously the first person. Let it be known. Spread the word if people don't know already. That Brian was the very first person to find out about the Q1 2023 release. I found out soon after, like randomly, just crazy coincidence. I wasn't like trying to find out, but I found out from someone else. We knew when two different, at least two different more, there's more, said that was happening, that we knew that this was pretty legit. So that's why we told you guys and shared it. But so this whole announcement here, though, is a little bit weird because they told us they were going to tell us the price, or I'm sorry, they told us they were going to tell us the release date and more games coming soon. And this obviously is a little bit more of a teaser. This is more of like a setup for when to expect it, kind of set expectations. But I find the way they did this, am I the only one? Am I alone in thinking that it is really weird the way they did this? Where on their socials, yes, it was on their American PlayStation, but it was never on their PlayStation Twitter account. There was no PS blog even, which I know it's not really a blog, but they didn't even tweet about it. But then you had PlayStation France, PlayStation Brazil, PlayStation Germany, PlayStation, all these other outside of the U.S. regions were all tweeting about it and everything. And it was really strange to me that the U.S. is just completely dead silent. Does anyone else find that strange? Am I alone here? Am I going crazy? Am I taking crazy pills? What up, Carl Parker, Old Darth Hack? Knew it was lit up in here. SHL. SHL, do not feed the Game Cat. I love it, man. What up, Gabriel? Peter, good to see you. Hey, Peter, you made it. Everybody give Peter a big round of applause because he leaves a comment on every video saying, damn it, I just missed it. So good to see you, man. Everyone's sleeping on these channels, but it's going to blow up once PSVR2 is released. Hey, man, I'm just here to have a good time. I need to get my hands on the games. That's what I need. I really look forward to playing and streaming them. What up, Hector Robles? Okay, Hector Robles is with me, so I'm not crazy. There's two of us. There are dozens of us, I bet. But yeah, so it had me thinking, like, was this a mistake or was this on purpose? Was this purposeful, purposely done the way they did this to kind of ease it out there? It was very, very strange to me. And my theory here, humor me if you will, and I'll tell you the counter to that. My theory is that it was originally supposed to be announced in August, or there was supposed to be some kind of event showcase, something that was a little bit more coordinated, and an announcement in August. But then it got moved, and for whatever reason, whether they forgot to remove the timer on some of these and they just went off anyways, or you know, it just seems kind of sloppy, right? I just don't see a multi-billion-dollar company is supposed to make mistakes like this, whether it was a mistake or not. They certainly are playing it like it's not a mistake, but it really seems like one to me. And I've known with one thing I've learned over the past couple of years is that they move their dates a lot. We have experienced that firsthand, where people tell us there's a certain date, something going down, and it changes. But it's a little wishy-washy. So it's just really, really strange to me. And, you know, the counter to this, in no way is this really the best thing, because the counterpart to this is that the U.S. was like asleep and totally missed it and was like, oops, I forgot to tweet about this. So either way, to me, as somebody who's like really deep into following what's going on with their, you know, communication, you guys know, I have criticized their marketing, their communication pretty heavily over the last few years, especially. And, you know, accidents happen, but it just seems like a weird accident for a multi-billion-dollar company to make. And so I personally think that this was kind of a mistake. But that being said, it is not a release date now. All they said is early 2023. So there is reason to believe that it could have been planned as well. I just find it super weird that your likely biggest market, which is the US, didn't get anything announced or whatever, but because everyone's going to find out about it anyways. So I don't know. I just really, really hope, you know, I said the last State of Play, they did everything right. They showed some games that looked amazing. And I feel like that was the first thing they did right in a really, really long time. And I hope that they start to get the marketing right by now. But it's just really interesting to me, and it's very, very strange. Lloyd's too busy making hybrids at this time. Yeah, I can't wait to see more games. Well, speaking of more games, there was actually a developer that posted shortly after. He says, oh, it's coming 2023. How would you like to see more games? And he goes, he's like, are you excited to see PSVR2 games? And then he goes, how about next month? And so that kind of lines up with a rumor that Special Nick, who's a guy that's known for leaking games, I'm not a leaker. Like, I know we give you guys information and stuff sometimes that we know that we are given the thumbs up, that, you know, share it, bolster the community, you know, strengthen the morale of the Game Cat army. And, you know, but I don't consider myself a leaker. I don't like doing it sometimes because I like to have the surprise, and also it can ruin things sometimes. It can actually hurt more than it helps. So it's not really my thing, but I do. One of the benefits is that, you know, we're really tight-knit community with, you know, the developers sometimes, and we happen to learn a lot in the process. And, you know, but anyways, Special Nick, however, is somebody who is known for leaking a lot of stuff. He's got his own community. He's actually like an Xbox guy, but he has pointed out that he believes the showcase is going to happen on September 8th. Now, I'll tell you what, man, I will believe him because there's been stuff in the past that he has been absolutely right about, and stuff that even we know. When Brian and I did a Gamescast a long time ago about a Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon VR, and that Special Nick guy, out of coincidence, totally coincidence, he also said that there was a Horizon Zero Dawn and gave a little bit of details, and they matched exactly with what we had. So I know that guy knows what he's talking about. I 100% believe just about anything this guy says because he's had situations where he's had the same exact info that we had that, as you know now, with Horizon Call of the Mountain, turned out to be true. So he's saying September 8th. So you know what I've done is I've gone ahead and taken PTO for September 8th and 9th, and I will, of course, be joining Without Parole whenever that showcase is. I will be joining on Gamescast Live so that we can all celebrate together for this moment that we have been waiting literal years for. And it's just so amazing, you guys. It's happening. It's happening. So I am super excited about everything that's going down. I hope you guys are too. I hope you're ready. But now that we know that it's early 2023, it is time to start getting ready, start saving because you're going to need to. Don't be late. We're going to all try to get there. I'm sure our Discord, make sure you join our Discord if you haven't. And we're going to be ready and going to be ready for those pre-orders. We are a tight knit group and have that communication ready. So, super, super cool stuff. Old Darth, I'm totally going to get into that in a minute because like I said, there's a ton of awesome news going on. But so September 8th, I am marking that on my calendar, and that is when I'm expecting to have a showcase. Also, last year, the showcase was September 9th, which was the Thursday of last year, so it kind of lines up with that. So let's see what you guys are saying real quick before we move on to the next target. The VR Grid in the house. What up, Ryan? Good to see you, homie. He says Sony's marketing for PSVR2 had been so laid back. I think this is more of that blasé attitude. GB, talk positive. As long as Sony emails me about my pre-order, I don't care what they do. That's right. If you go to the PlayStation website, there is in the hardware, there's a PlayStation VR2 section. Make sure you are signed up for their email listings. I too hope that that is reliable for getting early notice and access to pre-ordering, because pre-orders might happen soon. I was thinking pre-orders were going to go live in the holiday season, which there probably will be another run of pre-orders or something. Let me tell you something that I don't hear a lot about PlayStation's reasoning for 2023. Now, we've heard a lot about them wanting to produce more PS5s in this time. That is likely very, very true. The other thing that I've heard is that it's because they want to produce more PSVR2 headsets as well. It was originally, remember I talked about shifting dates. It was originally supposed to be Q4 2022, but one of the reasons, then the big reasons, if not the main reason that I heard, was that they want to produce more PlayStation VR2 headsets to have to sell at launch. So really, really good stuff, man. I know this has been like Sony's marketing strategy has basically been like the tortoise approach. So it's been painful to wait, but man, we are getting close, guys. We are getting so close now. I can feel it. What up, Shades? Good to see you, homie. Old Darth asks, so is the Resident Evil Village hands-on PSVR2 demo at Tokyo Game Show 2022 legit? Why, let me go ahead and say, yes, sir, it is very legit. That comes from PlayStation Japan. Let me get a Resident Evil 8. We are going to get our first hands-on impressions and stuff from different media outlets, and I cannot wait to hear. I'm hoping to see I want to see Shuhei playing it and give us some videos, some impressions. But yeah, this comes from the PlayStation Japan Twitter. They say Tokyo Game Show 2022 Capcom booth exhibition information. PlayStation VR2 version of Resident Evil Village trial exhibition decision. Experience the ultimate immersion by playing a part of Dimitrescu Castle. So you're going to get to play in part of the castle if you happen to go. Any of you out in Japan, we're CVD in Japan, and some of my Japan friends, I know it's like a completely different time zone, so maybe you'll catch this later. But if anybody is going to be going to that show, definitely let me know. And I would love to get you on at some point and share your impressions, because I want to hear all about it. What up, Endeavor One in the house tonight? The Hype Detectives. But yeah, man, the Showcase Tokyo Game Show demo is legit, and it is going to be the very first PSVR2 impressions we get, and I am so excited to hear about that. Of course, I just want it myself. Shade says, when are you starting your GoFundMe trip to Tokyo Game Show to play? Don't tempt me, because I'm very, very tempted to do so. But yeah, man, so that is the Tokyo Game Show, which is coming very, very soon. I believe it's mid-September that's going to be taking place. So a lot of people have been speculating as well that the Tokyo Game Show is that the showcase more evidence that there's a showcase coming in September, mid-September, maybe September 8th, because this Tokyo Game Show is happening after. So real quick, I see a lot of talk about price. Let's talk about price real quick, because we do have some news on that as well. Today, Jim Ryan, president of PlayStation, and has basically come out and said that the PS5 is getting a price raise, only in select regions though, which I find is crazy. But we got this news today. Let me get a new video going here so we can mix it up a little bit. How about some Ghostbusters? Yeah, Ghostbusters. So this is mainly outside of the US. And, you know, recently we did hear the news about Meta raising the price on the Quest. They raised it $100 from $300 to $400. And a lot of people said, you know, is that, well, not a lot of people said, but, you know, I did see here and there that some people saying, like, you know, is that going to happen with PS5? Is that going to happen with PlayStation? Well, I was like, no way. Like, there's no chance in that happening ever. I was wrong. I was dead wrong. And it is very surprising. Again, though, it's very strange because it's outside of the US only. And so it's really weird. My guess is because they have competition in the US. It's one of the strongest markets for gaming. And, you know, with Xbox and everything, they want to remain competitive against them. It certainly makes the decision making a lot easier when you have the decision of paying $500 or $600 for something. But basically outside the US, it's getting a $20 to $50 price hike, and people are not happy. And I don't blame them. That really sucks. They say that it's due to the global economy. The cost of production has gone up. And the weird thing is, though, it's actually 10% of all of Sony's products. It's not electronics products, it seems. It's not just PlayStation. It's basically a lot of their products are going up 10% boost. Now, this brings us to the question of, you know, is this going to affect the price of PSVR 2? Well, it's a tough one, because even if I had an answer, it's like, is this going to be for the US as well? The Meta Quest 2 is $400. So originally I was thinking the PlayStation VR 2 is going to be $400. Now I could see up to a $50 price hike on what it's going to come out at, the price that it's going to come out with. And it'll be really interesting to see what it does take shape. I'm going to say, I'm going to raise my price $50 here, and I'm going to say $450. I think that's where I'm going to go. Now, this is an amazing opportunity for Sony to come out and say, I'm going to say a max of $450. Maybe I'll stick with my $400 price tag, because just like how in the US the price is sticking to $400, $500 for digital physical one, I think that there's still a chance that they could come out and say $400. Now, if this was like Sony, the last gen Sony, I would be like really, really confident in that. But I'm not as confident in that as I used to be, because they have switched to a very conservative approach to their business models, and they're a little bit different now. And, you know, part of me thinks, I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore, because it's just, there's really surprise after surprise, whether it be good or bad. It's one thing after another that has been very, very surprising for me. And, but yeah, I do think, however, that it is an amazing opportunity for Sony to come out. It would be a mic drop moment if they came out and said $400, $399 for PSVR2. You get the headset, the controllers, that's it. The games are going to be a different story. I do expect there to be bundles, but game bundles, but it might be a little bit. It might take maybe a few months in. We'll start getting some game bundles. Probably it would be a very, very good idea. I think it's going to benefit them a lot by selling PS5 and PSVR2 bundles together. I see that benefiting them a lot, because there's such rabid demand for PSVR2s. And I'm sorry, for PS5s. And that's like just another way. There's probably people out there that got the cash that say, well, I have to get this thing too. Screw it. I'll give it a shot. It seems cool. And so, yeah. So I'm holding out hope that it's still going to be like a $400 thing. I posted on Twitter that I think it could go up $50 to $450 from my original price. I was thinking max is $500 though. I don't see this thing being more than $500. I don't think it's even going to be $500, to be honest with you. I think $500 and up would be, that would be really, really rough on consumers. I don't think there's going to be as much of an adoption rate. The funny thing is about all this price hiking though, is that it does also give them an opportunity to put stuff on sale when they really want to promote, like, oh, it's on sale for $500 now. And it's like, well, that's what it was originally, but you know, I don't know, maybe at some point. But the good news is that production has increased, been ramping up. PS5s are going to become more and more accessible pretty soon. And they're expecting to sell a boatload in the fiscal year 2023. They're expecting to sell a ton. All right. So before we move on, what do we got? What are you guys saying in the chat? Because I want to interact with you a little bit. My Oak V3D says, my grandpa got me an Atari 2600 when it came out for $500, and that was in the 1980s. It is funny how that kind of works. Yeah, like I remember at one point N64 games being like $70. I think I bought GoldenEye for like $70, and it was tough. Portal Player says, do you think they will tell us PSVR2 price and release date this year? I'd say both. They're definitely going to give us the release date first. The pre-orders they'll probably give us the price at the same time the pre-orders go live. Or they'll be like, here's the price, you'll be able to pre-order soon. So that's what I'd have to think there. But I definitely think we're getting both. If it's coming out early 2023, I definitely think we'll have the price by then. Natty, what's up? Says, Sony is disrespectful, honestly. The way they move don't give me confidence that they'll take care of PSVR 2, but I could just be dramatic. Well, I think they still have a lot to prove. in terms of their marketing and stuff. Obviously, most people are not happy. You know, for a while, for the last 3-4 years or something, it was us, the PSVR gamers, that were unhappy with their marketing and their coverage of PSVR2. But that seems like that's just been their change in their entire philosophy, like as a whole with PlayStation. Most people, I think, are pretty frustrated and unhappy with their marketing, with the dead silence, and then just drip feeding us or teasing us a little too much. And yeah, I don't think you're alone in this, but to me, again, we've discussed I do give them a little leeway because they are in a very, very tough situation. After everything we've been through, I am really honestly just so grateful that we still have a video games industry and one that has an opportunity to continue to grow and evolve. And that next evolution, of course, in my opinion, is virtual reality. I think that is the next place for hardcore gaming to go. But you know, obviously flat screen gaming is still going to be there and everything. Endeavor One says $3.99 plus Resident Evil 8. No way. No, there'd be if there was a Resident Evil 8 bundle or Horizon bundle, it would be at least like $500. Zach Wilder says, hopefully they don't just increase the price like they did with the PS5. Well, the good thing is they haven't given us the price yet. So if they increase it, it'll be behind closed doors. So it doesn't really matter. We wouldn't, if the price increased or decreased, we wouldn't know it, would we? Is Horizon VR going to be ready for launch? I absolutely think yes. Horizon VR is absolutely going to be ready for launch. Absolutely, it's going to be a launch title. I don't know that, but I have to assume that, being that is the very first game they've shown, and I think it is a great way to kick off the next generation. I think we'll get Horizon, No Man's Sky, Resident Evil Village, and then Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, and then we'll get probably a couple more. They have over 20 launch titles, and you can bet those will be part of those launch titles. Now, speaking of Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, we got some brand new first look gameplay at the game that has been shown. This video comes from Upload VR, and well, actually several different places posted it, but I'm borrowing this from Upload. Thank you guys. But this gives us a first look at Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, and I have some things that, you know, if you don't know, Saints and Sinners is one of my favorite games on PlayStation VR. I think it's one of the best games on VR, period. And I know many, many people agree with me because of its combat, its physics, its interaction, its levels of gameplay immersion are very, very deep. Now, there's a good thing and bad thing I like about this trailer. Let's get the negatives out of the way. Is that to me, if I had one big criticism of this, is that it looks way too similar to the first game. And it is an extension of it. It is Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, Retribution. The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, Retribution. It is a continuation of it. But I hope that doesn't hurt it too much. I do feel like, you know, if you haven't played this before, maybe it would be really cool. But though, if there was one thing I wanted about Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, if I got one, was that I really, really wanted some different, like a different look to it, different environments, not just old rundown post-apocalyptic Louisiana, but some cities, like some actual modern cities and everything. The zombies, they look the same. The walkers, they look a little bit about the same. which kind of bugs me a little bit because that's another pain point. Is I really think visually it needs to look a little bit different, and it just already seems like it's going to reuse a lot of the same stuff. There's even a part in the gameplay where there's like a fountain, and it's like the same fountain from the first game in the town, and it's just like I just really wanted to see some new stuff. So I get what they're doing here. It's better than nothing. It is, at the end of the day, going to be just more Saints and Sinners, which is cool. But I really would have liked them to start fresh, go bigger with this. But I think it's a smart game plan. It's fine. Some of the NPCs also look kind of weak. They don't look like when the NPC he's talking to is talking, it looks very dead inside. It looks like it has no soul. And there's just too much technology today. And the more detail you can have, which is something that this game was very highly praised about for myself and others, is the level of detail this had was stunning. And this guy right here, this one talking, he looks dead inside. I can stare into his soulless body as we speak and not see anything. But that's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, even the DLC for Saints and Sinners, Saints and Sinners 1 was really, really good, and it was just more Saints and Sinners. The problem is I don't think this game is going to have as big of an impact as the first game did, not only because of the way it was like so revolutionary at the time. It's kind of like it's a little bit been there, done that, a lot of similarities. But oh well. The good news is, however, is that within this gameplay, we do get to see probably, I think, the most exciting part about this. Tell me it's about to show up on the gameplay here, which I think it is very, very soon at least. They do show some new weapons, submachine guns and stuff, is that we get a first look at the chainsaw. And you get to see the chainsaw, finally see some chainsaw gameplay after some major teasers. And that, to me, is the highlight of what I've seen so far, is getting to use that chainsaw. And I'm very happy to see that there's like some dynamic slicing with it. They're cutting zombies from the neck, from the head, from the side. There we go. He's got the chainsaw now and he's revving it up. This thing is going to be super fun to use. I love how Endeavor One says groovy. This thing looks like it's going to be a blast to use. I've loved chainsaws. Have always been a great weapon in video games. I want to say Doom is probably the first game. But here you'll see them where he's just mowing down different zombies, and there's dynamic slicing where wherever you cut them, it's actually cutting right there. And I feel like they put a lot of effort into this, which is really, really good, because this is going to be a big, big part of the game. And so I am really excited about this. Now, again, this is coming to PSVR 1 and then PSVR 2, likely as a launch game as well. But I'm excited to use the chainsaw. Like I said, I've voiced my concerns about other things, but overall, I'm still very excited to play this. Nihilist Ryan, the game feline, with a $5 donation, says, AJ, my metal brother, what's up, my dude? So glad you got your own semi-regular show now. I'm really glad, man. Thank you. I will, of course, always still be doing Gamescast, and we'll try to make extra appearances on those when I can, when shit really starts going down. But it's nice to have this to get out here, interact with you guys a little bit, vent a little bit about things. I got a lot of things in my mind that I like to talk about and have my opinion on. I just share my honest opinion, and sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I do my best, though, and I'm glad you enjoy it, man, because I have fun hanging out with you guys. Love you guys. But what are you guys saying? So some of you are still talking about the price hike, that it shows more of a business model. Well, again, you have to remember that it is possible that this is what it is. There is a possibility that they have to do this price hike in order to survive. And, you know, as much as I am pro-consumer and I like it when we get the best value in things, you don't exactly always know what's happening behind the scenes. And yeah, like I said, this is definitely a Sony where it's a little bit different. I will say, it makes me feel better about I take it very serious when I recommend something and you guys go out and get something. I take that very serious, and oftentimes I'm like, gosh, I hope that was the right thing to recommend, or gosh, I know they see I'm having fun, but I hope they don't go buy this game, because it's not always the case. Not everything is for everybody all the time. I do feel a lot better about telling people to go get a PS5 now, that the price is going up in some areas. So I feel a little bit less guilty about that, because as much as I love the PS5, there have been some struggles with PSVR compatibility. But GB, the Talk Positive, Squid Cat, thank you so much for the donation. Says, digging the attitude of gamer gratitude. I love it, man. To all the idiots that said VR is a gimmick or VR is dead, the VR gods are alive and stirring. Yes, sir, they are. The VR gods are coming to save us. GB, Talk Positive, Squid Cat. Yeah. No, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, and it's funny because a lot of people, they try to bash VR and say, oh, it's a gimmick, it's a 3D TV, blah 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 blah. But the funny thing is though, is that VR does have gimmicks in it, but the gimmicks are the little things. The gimmicks are being able to pick something up and examine it from full angles, or certain little things you could do. Sure, you call them gimmicks or whatnot, but those all add up and are those are a small part that just make a more immersive experience to a badass game. Because at the end of the day, this is where I get so surprised by some tech industries' outlook on PSVR and how they kind of like shun it. I'm like, why? Because it has the best games, and Sony are in position to provide the best games and experiences, and that's why we're here, man. Is because like I'm here because I'm a gamer, and I love video games, and VR is just incredible when mixed with gaming. As you know, I play so much and love it. But anyways, for the final topic of today, guys, I wish I still had this thing. I've told you before, I'm a subscriber to Play Magazine. They're formerly known as PlayStation Official Magazine. And they did a couple articles here and there with some PlayStation VR2 news and discussion. And this is one of the coolest things that I have seen them say that I was not expecting. Actually, I can pull it up here too and read it to you verbatim, perhaps if I need to. But Play Magazine, they've had a little bit of PSVR2 coverage in their latest issues. Whenever stuff comes out, they did reiterate the fact that when you record your play space on PSVR2, that it will save it, and you can go back to it. You can save your play space, and yeah, it'll save it for the next time you go in. Now, this doesn't work, of course, if you move rooms, change rooms, things like that. It's not going to work as much. But one thing they pointed out was they had a little bit of a talk with Survios, and as we know, Survios are developing the new Alien game, and this Alien game is confirmed to have VR support. And I think we had a discussion with Survios a while back, and they're just like saying, we are praying that Sony makes PSVR 2. This was when people were still questioning whether or not there would be a PSVR 2. And, Brian and I were jumping up and down. We're like, yes, there's going to be one. Yes, there's going to be one. And people called us liars and this and that and, fanboys and blah, blah, blah. We're like, no, they're going to have a PlayStation VR 2. And then it was finally announced, and that was a good day. But yeah, so they've said that Survios are going to have a VR component. They did mention some interesting details about Alien VR. They speculated a little bit But I thought what they were pointing out, I'm like, holy shit, you're right. This could be actually really, really cool potentially. Survios still has to prove themselves once again to me, because personally, they've fallen off a cliff after I thought they were going to be one of the best VR developers in the business around this time. That has proven to not be true. I don't know what happened, but I miss you, Survios, of awesome, and I want you back. I want you back, baby. I do still have my my demo discs, or I bought some demo discs a couple of years ago or something. I still have PS1 demo discs. I love them. Sal, thank you so much for the donation. $10 just for the PSVR2 fund. Thank you so much, man. You're too kind, my friend. I really appreciate your support. Love you guys, man. You are awesome. And Sal, you are just an awesome dude. I always appreciate your love and positivity, man. You are great. All of you are. Endeavor One, you have not heard about Aliens VR from Survios? Yes, Survios are making a Alien VR game. Now, they were supposed to give us more info recently, but that got delayed because one of their presenters that was going to one of the press conferences, I don't know, it's on one of my interactive chats a few chats ago. But they got sick. I think they got COVID, and so they didn't end up going. They said, sorry, you'll have to wait a little bit longer before they hear news, which does raise the question to me. I wonder if now they're saving their stuff for the Sony showcase that's rumored September 8th. It'll be really interesting. That would be a pretty darn cool announcement. If they've got something cool to show, it would be an awesome teaser to show Aliens VR at the September showcase. So I am actually marking that down as likely to see that there, because I think that would be pretty cool. But one thing that they pointed out in this article in Play Magazine as well is that and keep in mind, Play Magazine they like to throw out hints. They don't always directly say something because not to spoil anything, but whenever they mention something, they typically have been accurate. They've actually leaked stuff. That's why I'm subscribed to them, for that tiny crumbs of info that I sometimes get from them. Stuff like updates to No Man's Sky. They've hinted at that came true. They've talked about, Zenith PSVR2, Star Tenders PSVR2, Ragnarok PSVR2. They've given some really good hints at stuff that seems like it's likely to happen. And one of the things they pointed out in this interview or article about Survios and Alien VR is that face huggers, and the way that the headset and the haptics in the headset are going to potentially use the rumble in the headset for the face huggers that latch onto you. And oh my God, it sparked something in my head where I was just like, holy shit, they're right. I'm thinking here, haptics in the headset can be used for, rain and wind. And if there's like an earthquake or a building collapsing or something, it's like you can rumble and get that extra immersion out of it. Thank you, Buju. I like the thumbnail too. It seemed like a good time to me. People's reaction to this, I tweeted about this, and people's reactions to this were also absolutely hilarious. It absolutely blew up. The tweet did, and people were just. I loved seeing everybody's different reactions. Some people were like, "Yes, get it on my face right now." Other people were like, "Hell no." They were like, "Okay, that's cool, but no, I ain't doing that." So I love the potential. I really, really love the potential use of this headset rumble. And I really think that there's a lot of possibilities here for it to be used in really cool ways. And it doesn't, and yes, horror games are already terrifying in VR. And, something like this actually having some haptics and stuff is only going to make that even more terrifying. And I love the idea of that, because I am one of those crazy people that is like, yes, I want this. I want to be scared shitless, and I want to, just have like a breathtaking experience. And then there's of course people that are just like, no. Well, the good news is for all you people out there that wouldn't want that, there's an option to turn off that headset rumble. So it'll be a custom option. But anyways, this was a great thing pointed out by Play Magazine, potentially using the new headset features. And, you know, we've heard some other use of the haptics potentially, like Polyarc also mentioned, they did an interview with Play Magazine, heavily hinted that Moss Book 1 and 2 is going to be on PSVR 2 as well, making a comeback. And the way that it can change from the PSVR Gen 1 to Gen 2 is that stuff like using the haptics, you'll be able to feel the fur of like petting Quill or something, or moving the vines from your head in Horizon, or feeling the textures. It's going to be really interesting to see how much this increases the immersion in the gameplay, because definitely a lot about VR is definitely a lot about the way it feels to play. It is very, very important. Games cannot just look good in VR, although they can get away. They can make a mark looking good, but if they don't feel good too, then it is definitely gonna take away from the overall experience. Oh man. Well, all right, guys. This has been such a fun time. So much news this week. So much exciting shit. Really, really amazing. Thank you so much to everybody coming to hang out for a little while, talk about this exciting news. And thank you to the mods for keeping the sex bots away, because we all know they love my channel. Thank you guys so much for the donations. And yeah, man, what's going on with me? I've been playing lots of No Man's Sky. I've been playing lots of Dreams. I've actually been I streamed 2 different Dreams games recently. Hellataxi, actually a bunch of games, but the big ones have been Hellataxi and Disdain. Guys, you gotta go play these games. If I need, I'll make another video. I am not gonna stop covering these games until you guys go out and play them. But before you do, Disdain is ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Go check that out if you have a PS5, maybe even on a PS4 Pro. It's gonna look amazing. But the other one, Hellataxi, I've actually been added as a collaborator on Hellataxi, because these guys don't have headsets. So I am helping them make tweaks for the VR versions so that we can enjoy these, have a better VR experience with these. But yeah, keep an eye out for that very, very soon. He's expecting by the end of the week to have Hellataxi tweaked. But there's a big visual fix and that's coming in, and just some visual tweaks to make it look and feel better in VR. So really, really can't wait to kick that off once he gets that update going. And guys, thank you so much, man. You have a wonderful rest of the night, and I'll see you again very, very soon. PSVR2's coming, baby. Woo woo! 2023, let's go. Thank you, Flame Hack, Game Cat, Peter, the Underground Game Cat on Pearl, Gabriel, Killer Sam. Thank you, man. It says I can never find these dreams. I have a playlist in Dreams. My last videos in Dreams videos. You can go to that playlist. Go to indreams.me, and you can add that playlist to your playlist or whatever. Add that playlist to your playlist. I don't know. You can search Top VR Dreams within Dreams and find my playlist as well. But thank you guys so much. You guys rock. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the night. I can't wait to see you again soon. And yeah, man, exciting times. Get the hype train going. Choo choo. Let's go. Underground out. Let's go.